President al-Assad stresses during his meeting with Boroujerdi that the escalating war against Syria will not shake the determination of the Syrian people to defeat terrorism. Syrian fighter jets target terrorist gatherings in Homs countryside and destroy al-Nusra vehicles in the countryside of Daraa and Suwaida. In Yemen, Saudi warplanes violate humanitarian truce and conduct airstrikes in several areas. Good afternoon. President Bashar al-Assad received today Chairman of the Committee for Foreign Policy and National Security at the Iranian Shura Council, Boroujerdi. The meeting discussed the brotherly relations between Iran and Syria and the keenness of the two countries' leaderships to continue cooperation and coordination at all levels and in all fields. Discussions also focused on the dangerous regional developments concerning the support by some regional countries and forces to terrorist organizations, using them as an instrument to achieve the political objectives of these countries, thus spreading chaos and instability throughout the whole region. Dr. Boroujerdi stressed that the determination and strong will of the Syrian people and army will defeat terrorism and its supporters, pointing out that Iran has always supported Syria and its just causes and will do its utmost to offer all help needed until terrorism is defeated. Boroujerdi made it clear that no power on earth can influence the distinguished relations between the peoples of the two countries and their keenness to continue cooperation in all fields. For his part, President al-Assad thanked the Islamic Republic of Iran for its firm stand behind the Syrian people and all the support offered in order to fight terrorism, adding that the escalating war against the Syrians by the terrorists, in addition to fabrication campaigns, all seek to compensate for their losses on the ground. The President pointed out that the Syrian steadfastness and perseverance cannot be shaken in the efforts to combat terrorism with the help of friendly countries like Iran. The President congratulated the Islamic Republic of Iran for the great achievement concerning the agreement reached on its nuclear file, stressing that the Syrian people is committed to defend its sovereignty and political independence. Chairman of the Iranian Shura Council's Committee for Foreign Policy and National Security, Boroujerdi, said that his visit to Syria comes to speak out loud in the face of false media campaigns and to stress that his country is still standing by the Syrian government and people. Boroujerdi, during his meeting with Speaker of the People's Assembly, Mohammed Jihad al-Laham, hailed the steadfastness of the Syrian Arab Army in Jisr al-Shughur, wishing that the army will defeat terrorism in the city again. He indicated that pressure on Iran with regard to its nuclear file is exerted by Israel and Saudi Arabia, which is adopting the policy of the Zionist entity, the enemy of the Arab and Islamic world. Following the meeting, Boroujerdi made a statement to the press commenting on Iran's invitation to take part in Geneva consultations.
They reached a conclusion that they do not want to make the same mistake they committed in Geneva 1 and 2 meetings. Our policy is based on reaching a solution to the crisis through the Syrians themselves without any foreign intervention. We oppose any foreign interference by the countries which claim support for democracy and demand that they allow the Syrian people to determine their own destiny by themselves.
A Syrian Arab Army unit eliminated Nusra terrorists near Nasib border crossing in Daraa's countryside. In Homs countryside, the Syrian Air Force targeted dens and gatherings of ISIS in many areas north of Palmyra, killing and injuring them. In Suwaida's countryside, Syrian Arab Army unit eliminated ISIS terrorists in many areas, destroying their machine gun-equipped vehicles, their weapons and ammunition. Moreover, an army unit eliminated Nusra terrorists in Latamna town in Hama's northern countryside. Units of the Syrian army and armed forces maintained control over 4 locations in Hasaka's western countryside, eliminating the last gatherings of ISIS in many villages, destroying their weapons, ammunition and machineries that are equipped with machine guns. It is worth mentioning that Syrian Arab army units controlled many locations in Hasaka's eastern countryside 4 days ago. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani stressed that the stability and security of Iraq constitute a priority for Iran, adding that the Iraqi people can always determine their future. During a joint press conference with his Iraqi counterpart Fuad Masoum in Tehran, Rouhani pointed out that those who use terrorism in the region as a political instrument to achieve their objectives made a dreadful mistake, adding that his country rejects any division of Iraq. For his part, Iraqi president said that all parties in Iraq are fighting ISIS, adding that combating terrorism in Syria constitutes a priority, exactly as is the case in Iraq. On the Saudi aggression on Yemen, he stressed the importance of reaching an immediate ceasefire and offering urgent humanitarian help to the Yemeni people. Iraqi forces eliminated 36 ISIS terrorists near BG oil refinery in Salah province, northeast of Iraq. Baghdad Operation Command said the security forces were able to inflict serious injuries to a so-called ISIS military leader south of Fallujah, destroying 7 booby-trapped vehicles. 3 terrorists were also killed as 2 cars loaded with ammunition and weapons were destroyed east of Fallujah. Meanwhile, an Iraqi security source said that 1 Iraqi soldier was killed in Diyala and another was wounded by an explosion targeting a military patrol east of Baquba. Although a humanitarian truce was announced in Yemen, Saudi fighter jets continued to bombard civilian infrastructure in the country as Yemeni tribes shelled with missiles the Saudi border city of Jizan, causing an electricity blackout.
Saudi warplanes violated the 5-day humanitarian truce announced earlier, continuing to conduct airstrikes on Yemen's civilian facilities and infrastructure. The Saudi fighter jets launched 4 airstrikes on Sada, Hajjah and Al-Dali', in addition to targeting army positions northeast of Aden. Meanwhile, the death toll has risen to 69, mostly women and children, as 150 others were wounded following Saudi airstrikes in Naqa Mountain, destroying a hospital and causing widespread material damages. Meanwhile, the Saudi-Yemeni borders witnessed intensive shellings after Saudi authorities announced the killing of 1 person and the injury of another in Najran. News reports confirmed that a total power blackout prevailed on the Saudi city of Khoba in Jizan Governorate after Yemeni border tribes shelled with rockets Najran International Airport, an oil company and a power station in the city. In another development, Yemeni army continued to make progress, liberating more areas of al-Qaeda terrorists.
In occupied Palestine, violent clashes erupted between the Palestinians and the Israeli occupation forces after storming the eastern district of Nablus in the West Bank. Israeli occupation forces have stormed into a number of the western neighborhoods in Nablus and Aurta village as they arrested a number of Palestinians. On the other hand, the occupation forces broke into 2 villages in Jenin, arresting a number of citizens. With this, we conclude our news for today. Thank you for watching. For more details about Syria and the region and to view this bulletin again, you can always visit our website in English, syriaonline.sy. Now to latest business and market news with Syria now, but after a short break.